Hey, what's up guys? Coach Jameson. In this video today, we're going to be going over a 20-minute daily recode you can start doing every morning. This is going to be our challenge for the month of March, is waking up and first thing you're going to do is a recode anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes long. I'm doing a 20-minute one. You can shorten it up or lengthen it if you want. Here with my homie Nosky, that's going to go through it with me, so you got a couple bodies to look at. I'll be cueing you through it as well. Like I said, I'm going to try to keep this around 20 minutes. So let's go ahead and start down on our stomach. We're going to start with a little lateral tummy time stretch. So we're going to come all the way down. I'm going to have tops of the feet down, heels pointing out, and we're going to take our left hand, reach it down towards our left feet, and then reach our right arm up and across. So I'm getting a nice lateral stretch, forehead or cheek to the mat here, and you're going to start breathing. Start tuning into your decomp breaths. Big inhales through the nose, exhaling, releasing through the mouth gently. And as we're laying here on our stomach for this first minute, we should be getting a good stretch and length into that right side. So I want you to focus more of your breath into that right rib cage, right armpit, right hip area. And your inhales, I want you to think of really trying to breathe into the back space of the body. Low back, trying to pull that breath like a wave up the back of the spine, behind the shoulder blades. Use this time to start checking in with your body, checking in with your mind. Try to bring a focus here to this little session. Got 15 more seconds. Tune in and close your eyes. We're going to slowly switch sides now. So we're going to take that right hand, is going to reach down to the right foot. Left arm is going to reach up and across the body. So now we're getting length into that left side. Hold. And we got 1 minute here. Same thing. I want breath. Focus into that left side of the body. Left rib cage. Breathing behind that left scap. Maybe that left hip if you're feeling tension there. Inhale, we're focusing on length, creating space, expanding. Even as we exhale, we're looking to maintain that space we're finding. On your exhale, we'll start focusing on engaging that core a little bit. So on your exhale, you can think of almost like a corset, tying up the front side, getting it nice and strong. And then as you inhale, maintain that. Hopefully allowing you to bring more breath into that back space, opening up the ribs, sides of the rib cage. All right, we're going to slowly now transfer back to center. I'm going to have you now tuck your toes. We're going to pull the toes up towards the shins. Rotate your thighs inward, so you'll notice my heels are pointing out. So give a peek back at your heels. Make sure they're pointing outwards. Knees and thighs are going to gently press down. Now we're going to reach our fingertips all the way overhead. Stretch out nice and long. We'll keep forearms, hands, and elbows down. Forehead starts straight down on the mat. And then I want you to pull your forehead and nose gently away from the floor. Keep your gaze straight down. Imagine a string pulling the back of your head nice and long. Go back into those decomp breaths now. Big inhales, low back, pulling up nice and high in that back space, expanding the back space, expanding east and west into the rib cage. Exhaling, finding that engagement through the front side of the core. We got 1 more full minute here. As you're holding, if you need to adjust, you can make any sort of adjustments to the hips, neck, shoulder. Really utilize this last minute to check in with the body, to focus your mind here for this session. Again, really keeping your focus and attention on that breath. Big inhales, finding expansion. Think of creating length or getting taller. Exhaling, finding that front side engagement into the abs and core. Keeping that tight as we inhale, allowing more breath into that back space. We got 20 more seconds here. And again, you're not frozen. If you make any adjustments, make adjustments. right, we're gonna slowly now make our way into log rolls. From here, I want you to take your left leg, we're gonna swing it up in the air. So from our tummy, we're gonna swing our hips across first. We're gonna let our hips rotate, and then we're gonna slowly let the shoulders come over, all the way back onto our tummy. And then from the back, or onto our back, sorry, and then from the back, we're gonna flip over to our tummy, shoulders first. So we're gonna reach that left arm across, all the way back to our tummy, and then opposite side. From our tummy, hips go first. It's time to the right leg, flip our hips over, all the way onto our back on the opposite side, and then we'll roll back. We're gonna alternate for a couple minutes here. So remember, from the back, it's the shoulders first, and then from the tummy, it's the hips first. If you can, keep your eyes closed. Try to stay focused on the breath. Try to get out of your head of trying to look a certain way or do it perfect. Just move. Feel your body. Pay attention to any tight spaces or tension, unwanted tension that we're holding. If it feels good to hold into a certain position, you can hold. Go for 30 more seconds here. What we're going to notice with Milton as he's rotating here is a big thing you can think about. It's a disassociation between the hips and the shoulders. You can almost imagine like we're wringing out a towel or wringing out your spine. This twisting motion is very good. We get very stuck in this kind of neutral slouch position in our bottom row. So rotating the spine is really good. We're going to get one more, and then we're going to make our way back to our belly. Once we make our way back to our belly, we're going to stay in position. We're going to do active tummy time real quick. So we're going to pull the arms back, tops of the feet down. We're going to start by lifting the arms up. I want the chest and head to lift, but not cranking the neck forward. Keep the gaze down towards the mat so the neck is staying long. And from here, we're going to go up and down with the arms. Just rip nice and slow. Really think you're trying to pull those shoulder blades and hands back. As I'm lifting, I'm thinking of reaching my hands towards my feet, my heels. Don't worry about trying to get as high as you can. I'd rather the focus staying on length, kind of activating that upper back. 5, 4, 3, 2. Good. 1, we're going to bring the arms all the way overhead, fingertips down. Same thing, chest and head stay lifted. Now go ahead and lift the arms and hold. Really think of trying to lift the arms from the lats. If you need to go a little bit wider, you can. That'll make it easier. Keep breathing, and we're holding here. In 3, 2, 1, up and down with the arms. Stay tuned into that breath. Don't hold it. 5, 4, 3, 2, lift and hold. Now we turn back to our first position all the way around into our A position. Lower the hands, touch down, lift, up overhead, touch down. That's going to be our motion. Alternating from our overhead position to our A position. Moving at your own pace. I'm not worried about how many reps you get here. If you need a break, take a break, or if you want, you can just hold in a position, hands down or up. If you're finding this is really tough, again, we've all been stuck in the chair since the time we were little kids. So it's really made this hard. You go look at little kids on the ground doing their tummy time. They got a lot of extension down here on the floor. So it's something we want to try to work back towards. 3, 2, 1 more. And let's bring the arms back overhead, forearms down. Quick 15-second break before we go into our last movement. Our last movement is going to be a side bend. So we're going to be taking one arm down, the arm that's reaching down and side bending. We're going to open that palm up so we're externally rotating. The opposite arm is going to come across internal. And then we're going to alternate. Back and forth. Try to keep your gaze towards the top of your mat. The hand that's going down, think of reaching towards your heel. The opposite hand, think of trying to reach away. If you're feeling your neck, make sure the gaze stays down towards the mat. We're trying to find length. 3, 2, 1. Good. Relax. Arms down by the side. Turn your cheek to one side. Take a couple breaths there. Just observe. Let everything cool off for a second. Turn your cheek to the other side. All right, let's slowly bring our hands under us. We're going to press up into tabletop position. From here, we're going to go into some baby crawling. I'm going to show you how to do it on your mat if you're limited in space. And then Notsi and I have a little bit of space around the gym, so we'll move around and kind of crawl. We're going to do this for 2 minutes. So if you have a limited space and you're just on a mat, you're going to start at the back of your mat. Opposite arm and leg. Right hand, left leg, take a little baby step. We'll baby step and crawl to the top of our mat. And then reverse it. Again, if you're limited to space, this is going to be your baby crawl forward and back. Or if you have a little studio space like we do, we're just going to start crawling around. And as I said, we're going to go for 2 minutes. Utilize your space, even if it's small, you can just do circles. Or if you like, you can just keep going forward and back on your mat. As we crawl, main pointers here, just think opposite arm, opposite leg. Another thing you're going to notice when watching me and Notsi crawl around is our spines are nice and long. So we want to make sure that we're not pulling into this rounded position, that we're kind of sucking in the chair. Think chest up, butt up, and then opposite arm, opposite leg. If you do want another thing to focus on, you can think of maybe exaggerating the side bend with the leg that's coming forward. And so what I mean by that, in this case, my right leg stepping forward, you can focus on exaggerating that side bend a little bit. You got about 30 seconds left. If you're crawling off your mat, let's slowly start making your way back towards your mat. Finish our last 20 seconds on the mat before we go into our rocker series after this. So in this little morning recode, taking you through a lot of good developmental movement. You saw we were on our tummy, doing some decomp, doing some tummy time, then flipping over, doing our log rolls. Now into crawling, kind of priming everything when we get to 2 feet. All right, let's make our way back to the center of our mat. We're gonna go right into some rockers now. We're gonna go 30 seconds. So knees about a fist width and 2 fist widths apart, whatever you like. We're gonna start pushing those hips back. Rocking, again, if you get a lot of pinching or tension in the front side, just go and elevate your hands with some blocks if needed. As we continue to rock here for this first 30 seconds, I want you to think of just gently ripping the shins and thighs apart, shins and knees. Seeing if that gives you a little more activation into that backside. Range of motion is on you. If you want to rock hips all the way back, all the way up, that's totally fine. Just find whatever range is feeling good in your body right now. 3, 2, 1. We're going to start adding our kick out. So now as I come forward out of my rocker, we pull the feet apart, internally rotate up those thighs. 30 seconds here. Again, the one thing I want you to notice when rocking, make sure when you come to the top, we're not letting the hips pass the knees, but we're keeping those hips back. Regardless of what your movement practice is or your sport, all this recoding is for every human to maintain good movement patterns for life and to help the body move a little bit more freely. All right, from here we're gonna start aiming over to one side. So let's bring our knees all the way together. We'll cross left foot over right. We're gonna kick our feet towards the left just a little bit. We're gonna find our right side rocker. I'm gonna push my hips over to my right side, sit my hips back, start rocking into this right side. Most of my weight is on my right shin. My left leg's really light. If you do want it to be a little bit juicier, you can lift that left leg off the ground, so we're loading all of our pressure into one side. We're halfway, 15 more seconds on this side before we switch over to the left. Notice again, spine staying long. We want to be mindful that we're not rocking, rounding, dropping our gaze, focusing on keeping eyes and chest up, spine long. And again, we should be primarily feeling glute hamstring kick in. If you are feeling a little quad, that's fine. 5, 4, 3, 2, and switch. So same but opposite. Feet are going to kick over to the right. Right foot comes over the left. Most of my weight comes to this left shin. Push the hips, find that outer edge of that wall in that left hip, and then start rocking back. I'm thinking of gently pressing my left shin and foot down, and I'm going to lift up that right leg, just unloading all that pressure into this left side. If you're getting too much quad or any pitching in the hip, again, we're going to elevate the hands. Yoga blocks, bench, little table, whatever works best for you. 5, 4, 3, 2, good. Let's come back to center. We're going to come to a fist width or 2 fist widths apart. Hips are going to sit back. I'm going to have you peel the hands off the floor. We're going to go into a side-to-side rocker for 30 seconds. So my hips are going to slide over to the right side. I'm going to sit back. Notice my chest opens to the right. I come back forward, left, open to left, sit back, and we're going to alternate here. Hands can just stay on the chest if you like, or if you want to work with some running arms, you can work those running arms. We should be getting fairly warm. This morning recode isn't too intense. Again, we can always dial up the intensity if we like, depending on how we're feeling in the morning. Today we're staying a little more tranquilo, not too intense. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Hands back down. We're going to step our right leg back. We're going to go into a little pigeon ISO. So my right leg goes back. It's rotating internal. Left foot's going to come in a little bit, and then we'll lower that right knee. Come to your fingertips. So we're in a pigeon position. That back leg's dropped. Press the right foot and shin down. Left hand comes to the chest. Good. And then we'll slowly float that right hand up, and we're going to hold. Big activation this left glute here. If you want a little more fire and intense, you can reach the chest forward, slide that right leg back. Breathe. Think of those decomp breaths again. Big breath in the back space. Exhaling, finding engagement in the core. We're halfway. Four, 3, 2, and slowly lower those hands. Step the right leg forward, left leg goes back. We're going to go on the opposite side. So big rotation into that left leg. Lower the knee and shin, just inside that opposite foot. Come to your fingertips, pull the right hand to the chest, left hand floats off, and we hold 30 seconds. If you're finding that balance is a problem, make sure you have a mirror. Your head should be right over that right knee. If that head starts floating out either way, it's going to make you feel off balance. So get that head lined up over the knee, shoulders gently pulling back, eyes forward. You can think of pulling the right shoulder down towards that right hip just a little bit. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Lower. We're going to make our way up to our feet now. We're going to step the left leg forward. We're going to go into a little iso drop in on this left side. Make sure that second toe's pointing straight. We've got a nice maintained arch. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and we're going to shorten that stance. From here, I want most of your weight into your hands and this front foot. Back foot's going to remain light. Big internal rotation of that back side, heels pointing away. Left hand comes to the chest first, eyes forward, and then we'll slowly float up. into our drop-in. We're gonna hold here for 30 seconds. If you feel good here, you're gonna stay here, or you can lift that front heel up. Things I want you to notice, my left hip is back. My front foot is straight and strong, my heel is up. I haven't lost that engagement on the back side. And my back foot is fairly light, something like 80-20 when it comes to how much weight's on my front side, 80%, 20% on the back. Keep holding, we got a few more seconds here. All right, we're gonna go into 30 seconds of little drop-in pulses. Front heel can stay up or down. I want you to pull back a little bit deeper on that left side, back to neutral. We're working the left side, so both kneecaps and chest, as I sit into this drop-in, should be opening and pointing out to this left side. Notice my back heel staying up, and as I pull into this drop-in, it's sinking a little closer to the floor, allowing you to stay in this back side. 4, 3, 2, good. We're gonna come to center, bring the back foot forward just a little bit further, front heel comes down. Now we're gonna work a hinge. I want you to pull back into that left hip as far as you can, a lot of weight into the heels. We're gonna reach to the ground, touch, come back up. That's our reps. Pull back deep into that hip, reach. For some reason you can't reach the floor here, you can use some blocks, books, something to elevate the floor to the hands. We're gonna get 2 more on this side, hip reaches back. Come back up to standing, last 30 seconds now. We're gonna go into a lunge. That right foot's gonna step back just a little bit more. I'm gonna sit back into that left side. Now I'm gonna go deep, let that back knee fall all the way to the ground. Press up. Again, it's like we're rotating and screwing and coiling into the ground. Everything's coiling to the left. Come back up to neutral. Running arms. As I sit back, left arm pulls back, right arm reaches forward. Main things I'm looking at here, I don't want this knee to drive forward. I want the hip to pull back, everything to rotate open to that left side. 4, 3, 2, last one. Good, go ahead and shake that right side out. We're gonna come into our right side now. So right foot forward, left leg steps back. We're gonna find that iso drop in. First thing, second toe straight. We got a nice maintained arch. Right hip pulls back, chest reaches forward. I'm loading that back side. This left side is a nice little kickstand and hold. As things get spicy here, come back to that decompression breath. Big inhales filling up the back space, expanding. Exhale, engaging that front side. Keeping that as we inhale again. We're over halfway here on this first hold. On my time, we're gonna go right into those little drop-in pulses, or think of kind of like a little shallow lunge. 3, 2, 1, here we go, pulse it. Again, heel up or down, that's up to you. You can see I'm working with my heel down today. You can even make it light and just think of a little credit card underneath the heel. Last 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Meet back at the top. We're going to those hinges now. Right hip pulls way back. I have a little micro bend in the right knee. Reach towards the floor. Find that stretch and back up. If you're finding little shakes or trembles during this, that's a good sign. Going to get 2 more here, 2 more. Last one. Meet back at the top. Separate your stance just a teeny bit wider. Right into those lunges now. Full depth. Everything's opening to the right side. A lot of work in that hammy and glute. Quad will be working a little bit too. Halfway. 3, 2, last one. Good. Shake that out. All right, we're gonna come into our finish now. We're gonna finish with
A little squat and hinge work. So let's find 2, maybe 3 fist widths between the feet. We're gonna find the hips back, and we're gonna find a little quarter squat first. So my butt's reaching back, slightly down, shins and thighs are opening, arches are maintained, kneecaps are pointing out. I want you to hold here. On your next inhale, we're gonna reach the arms forward, internally rotating, think of the elbows pulling nice and long, trying to find as much distance between your elbows and your hips. Breathe. Think of gently ripping the feet apart. Big toes stay down, anchored into the lateral side of the foot. On your next exhale, come up to standing. Good, those are gonna be our reps now. We're gonna inhale, elbows reach, hips go down and back, exhale, standing. As you come up to standing, make sure at the top, we're not thrusting forward into that banana shape. Hips are staying back just slightly. You can go as deep as you want with this. If you want to go a little deeper, you can go a little bit deeper. If you want to focus more on length, you're trying to get those hips back. Elbows reaching forward and up, nice and long. Everybody get one more here. We're going to be back at standing. We're going to bring in our stance just a smidge. So now maybe at 1 to 2 fist widths apart. We're going to find our hinge now. Hips go back, shins and thighs roll in, so my kneecaps are pointing in and across from each other. We're going to inhale, reach those arms forward and up. Same thing, elbows reaching internal and long. Hold. Trying to find as much distance as we can between hips and shoulders. On the exhale, try to let the traps relax. On our next exhale, let's come up to standing. Now we'll go hinge reps. Hips go back, shins and thighs roll in. As you work that internal rotation on the hinge, make sure you don't lose the feet. You keep those arches nice and strong. You can play with a little micro bend in the knees. I don't want the knees locked out, slamming into the back of those capsules. So think little bend in the knees. Everyone's gonna get one more. Hold, slowly hinge forward, bringing the hands to the ground. Step your right leg back, lower the knee, and everyone is gonna flip now onto your back. Now you flip all the way onto your back, arms are gonna come out to the side, palms up. Arms out, palms up, let the feet go to where they're gonna go. Close your eyes, and now bring all your awareness to your breath. We're gonna finish up where we started. That went a little longer than I planned. We're at 27 minutes, so you can shorten this or lengthen it to your liking. Again, depending on how much time you have in the morning to put a little focus on your body. Anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes is perfect, so you can shorten or lengthen any of these movements. To finish, I just want the eyes closed. Bring all your awareness to your nasal passages where the breath's coming in and out of your nostrils. And I don't want you to control the breath. Let your breath be as it is at this moment. If it's deep, it's deep. If it's shallow, it's shallow. If it's erratic, it's erratic. Just observe your breath. Don't try to control it. Just observe. Observe your breath, and then take that awareness into your whole body. Check in with how you feel after all that movement input. Are you getting good juicy signals, good green lights, or is there some kind of speak into you where you need to bring a little bit more focus? Again, listening in the body, tapping in, building a relationship, understanding the signs and signals it's sending you is the best thing you can do for your body. You know, if you have a pain signal, it's just that, it's pain. It's neither good nor bad. It's a signal from the body telling you to check in. So over the month of March, this is going to be our 30-day challenge, starting every morning with a 10 to 30 minute recode. I'm going to put a lot of different options and follow-along videos for you to do in the morning. We have all of our other coaches that are participating doing the same. So I suggest you tap in and find which coaches sequence you like best. I'm Coach Jameson.